Dragonfly flapping in the dark, shooting stars over this old park. Burnt marshmallow on a crooked stick. You drop a comment, I'll read it quick. Switchback, sweat, and summit haze. Drone shots catching all those rays. Feels like we're together, y'all, out here on Woodall Trails. Like and subscribe to Woodall Trails. Hit that bell so you don't miss the tales. From a mountaintop view to the late night flames, we're chasing that wild by calling your name. So like and subscribe to Woodall Trails.
Happy Thursday, adventurers. It's another Thursday, guys. Adventure Closet Talk. Can everybody hear me? And I know I'm going to sound a little weird. I'm sorry. Well, a little under the weather. It's been a rough past couple days. So, everybody hear me? I know I sound weird, but guess that means a thumbs up from Mike there. Happy Thursday, adventurers. We're on episode 33 of Adventure Closet Talk here. If y'all haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe there down there. If y'all haven't subscribed yet, we're here every Thursday. I try to bring on someone that I've met along my adventures that I've done the past couple years. So I like to bring someone in here, let them talk about who they are, what they do. You know, I got some questions for them. I like to know a little bit. You know, I've met the people, but this lets me get to know them a little bit better. Who knows? Maybe eventually take a trip with them too. But guys, tonight we have a MYOG, however you want to say it. I just going to tell you, it means make your own gear. He's a make your own gear guru. I met him at Hank Con 2 years ago, and we met again this year, and we kind of sit there and talked for a while. I'm just going to let you know he's very interesting. He's going to be a very great guest, and without further ado, I'm going to bring him on here and let him tell about himself. No sound.
How about now?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. That's the problem with these complicated audio setups.
Yeah, I already know. Okay, man. So I haven't told nobody anything yet. Let them know your name. But if you want to go ahead and tell them who you are, what you do, where they can find you, then we'll get started here.
Sure. Yeah. My name is Matt Evans. I'm the owner of Red Paw Packs. So basically, I do all sorts of ultralight gear, people and dogs. So kind of running the whole the gambit of options there. And I also do a YouTube channel, also Red Paw Packs, where I show people how to do various DIY, MYOG, how to sew your own gear at home. I've always been really passionate about that, and I'm recently been trying to kickstart that YouTube channel to show that off a little bit more and get more people started with making their own stuff because it really is rewarding, and I wanted to share that with everybody.
Yeah, man, that's I love your videos you're putting out. They're awesome. You're doing a lot of cool stuff. Sorry, I'm gonna sound a little weird here, and so make your own gear. What got you into it? I know you're a backpacker. You've been doing it a while. I mean, probably what 10 years longer.
Something like that, maybe 8 to 10. And the funny thing is, I've been making my own stuff for the same duration. Like, I went on my first backpacking trip when I was in college, so I guess I was like maybe 19, and they did guided trips. I went to Florida State in Tallahassee, and they basically pair you up with older students to guide you on your first backpacking trip, and they do all the logistics. They get you there, they navigate for you. Normally, they give you your own kit, all that stuff. And we went to Springer Mountain for the first, trip I've really ever done more than just camping out with my buddies in the woods behind the house, And I refused to take the heavy gear that they would rent out to you. So I bought like maybe $200 worth of stuff. I was severely unprepared, like legitimately unprepared. Like I had camped in Florida for a long time before that, but it's never backpacking, right? It's like me and my buddies would go out in the woods, we'd walk plenty, maybe 5 miles to get to our camp. And then we're just kind of hanging out, making a fire, it's more social. And so, you go from Florida to even just the mountains in Georgia, it's a big difference. And I was cold and I was not equipped. So then I come home and I'm like, man, I could have made that experience a lot better if I had just had a couple items. But I was a sophomore in college, so I didn't have any gear budget, right? Like, so that's what got me started was like, maybe I can craft a little bit of this stuff. Now, I'd never sewn anything in my life. My first projects were not even sewn, like taking an emergency blanket and making an underquilt with it. Because, of course, I was a hammock camper. I mean, that's how I started. And in Florida, that's the perfect thing. But I didn't know about underquilts. I didn't know about any of that stuff. So once you go down that rabbit hole, it's hard to put the cork back, and next thing I know, I'm like trying to come up with my own designs. And then all of a sudden people are like, hey, maybe like I'd buy one of those. Would you make it and sell it? And then here I am like 8 years later with, 15, 20 products. It's been a wild ride, man. It's been a wild ride. And now I'm trying to do this YouTube thing. And it's like every day's a little different than the last day.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. We sit there and talked a while, just about the backpack. I love the shoulder straps you have. They're pretty cool. I love the pockets on them. They're sewn in. I mean, everything you got on there is very. You can tell you put a lot of thought into it.
Tireless amounts of thought, and like it's funny because you never. Especially, I didn't think about it like this, right? Like you pop into REI, you see any gear, some dude somewhere has spent a lot of time making 50 versions of that thing before you get to see it. And that has happened with all of my products. And some of that was like, well, better test this out in the next backpacking trip, or, ooh, I better make one of these and see if I like it or don't for the next one, and then come home and then make a new version and then rinse and repeat over and over.
Yeah, we got Mr. Ben in here. You probably know Ben. Y'all are on the same wavelength here when it comes to gear.
What's up, Ben? Shout out.
Oh, yeah, man. So you made a lot of gear. I know you made a lot of gear over the year. What's been your favorite piece of gear that you've made?
Oh, that's a tough one. In terms of what's been good for the business, it is the Flex fanny pack. That was my first actual product. That was like actual project number 3, I think. It's my favorite in that once I figured that out and I did my 50 versions, it really has largely stayed the same. And I think that has been the one constant thing in my business. And I don't want to change it. Nobody's really asked me to change it. People want versions, different, customizations here and there. But largely that's my favorite because it just works. And I think people get it. Now, in terms of favorite things that I've made just for fun, creativity, I have been really loving like everyday carry style bags recently. And in the last like 3 years, I've done probably 15 of them and just kind of goofing around, seeing what I can do, what I can't do, what works, what doesn't. Should there be a zipper here? Should there be pockets here? Should I put foam in here so I can open it up the entire way or whatever, right? To me, that's my favorite thing. I actually just released a new EDC bag called the Scrambler 17. That's my new favorite item I've made just because it's simple, but man, when you use it, it's cool. And that's kind of what lights the fire in me is like when I use a bag I did and it's like, this was right. Something was right about this. And when somebody else picks it up, hopefully they think the same thing. So Flex Fanny Pack is my all-time favorite because that's been like the staple of my business from like day one. But recently, EDC packs have been kind of getting me excited. And it's a whole different industry. And, it's a little weird to be the ultralight pack guy and then also do, kind of heavier, like foam padded everyday carry bags for like a laptop or travel. But that is what's gotten me excited recently.
Yeah, I seen the Scrambler and I love the very thoughtful, just how you had it open. Like, I was like, man, I love how you can just open and flap it over and right there you got everything.
Yep.
All the pockets you had on the inside there, just everything about it. You had the water bottle holder. Perfect everyday pack. Like, that would be something I would love to travel with.
Yep. And it's small, but it's personal item size, which is a whole different thing for me. Like, I've done other ones where they're massive. It's like, oh, I need a carry-on bag to fit as much junk in here as I can for this trip. That's great too. But man, there's something to be said about a nice small bag that really just accomplishes that job,
Uh-huh. Okay, so favorite. Now, what's been your least favorite piece of gear that you've tinkered with and tried to make? It's something that you've used, but you just never really. You're like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna make that again.
Oh, that's so easy, man. Tarps and shelters. I have experimented with tarps and shelters. I've made probably half a dozen. Flat tarps, the Rayway beak tarps. I've done like a pyramid tent. At one point, I wanted to do like a full big size 4-person pyramid tent. That never happened. The problem was it's really tough, man. Like working with those slippery fabrics. I look at those guys who do quilts and tarps, and I just say, bravo, good for you. I'm not going to get into that market. That's not something I enjoy doing. I mean, it's rough, man. It is rough. Like you can have the right tools, the right equipment, and it doesn't matter, man. It's still, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I need to call up some contacts and say, hey guys, like, what am I doing wrong? But that is something I experiment with, but will never sell based on the fact that I barely trust my own work on those kind of items.
Sorry there. Let's get a phone call. I guess the wife forgot I was having a podcast tonight. Oh, man.
I've got a question for you.
What's the question?
And I don't even remember if we talked about this at HangCon, the couple years we've talked, but have you gotten your hand into making your own gear and trying that kind of thing?
I have not, but I have a buddy who has, and I get to be the recipient.
Okay, that's a good place to be.
Yeah, he made me a fanny pack because the one I had is way too small. I like to bring a little bit of goodies inside my bags, and that one, like, I think it was a little over a liter. I was like, yeah, I can't do this no more. I can't fit my gloves. I can't fit my stuff in here. I can't fit my snacks. I was like, yeah. I actually got it sitting over here, so let me grab it real quick. I'll show you.
Yeah, let's see it.
He's done a really good job. I think he's going to make a second version of it now, but you can see it's pretty good size.
Yeah.
He did the zipper for me. Then he's gonna change it next time. He's gonna put some pockets inside of here, he said. And then he's gonna put a pocket on here and a pocket on each side. And then I told him to leave this pocket back here because I like that.
Yeah, that's a good size.
Yeah, I was like, I need at least 2.5 liters, at least.
Well, if you're trying to fit your camera and stuff like that in there too, you need a big bag. You know, at the end of the day, you kind of just do.
Yep. So he made that. Then it's actually replaced my other one. I had a Trekker Joe's one, and it's since been replaced.
Well, good for you for being the guy to receive this stuff, right? Like that's the ideal place to be. Like my friends and family are just like, oh man, I need this thing, and it's like, all right, can you give me a week? And they're like, yeah. It's like, okay, cool. And then they get to receive that stuff.
I haven't gotten into it. I mean, I've been very interested in it, but I'd be on the opposite end there. I'd want to make a tarp, something like that, and that kind of scares me right there. Just like making a hammock and stuff like that. I mean, I could probably do a hammock that's not got a net on it, but I like having a net. So
yeah, you can do a netless hammock as a super duper easy project, and I say that as somebody who hasn't done one. Which is hilarious. I've just already had too many hammocks to justify it, right? But really, you just roll the raw edge a couple times on all the long sides, the short sides, and then add your am steel, and you're good. Like that's actually a great starter project.
Yeah, there's another buddy there, Mr. Mike. He said that's his next goal is to get into make your own gear. He got a sewing machine. He just got to learn how to use it. Well, yep. Mike, maybe Cherry could show you. I'm sure she knows how to use a sewing machine.
I have a good tip for you too. Don't start on expensive fabrics, man. Like if you're gonna start messing around with making your own gear, wonderful, do it. But don't make your first project expensive, because man, there's a lot of cheap stuff out there that you can practice on, and if you mess it up, which you will for the first couple things for sure, especially if you're just teaching yourself how to do it, right? Don't make it an expensive mistake. Like this is funny. In my bedroom, I have like an industrial clothing rack that probably has 60 backpacks on it. And I have my first couple bags in there. And like after bag 1, I went straight to like X-Pack, VX21 and all that stuff, right? And it looks sweet and it's a great textile, and that's why I wanted to use it. But those bags are so atrociously ugly and don't look good, and the sewing's bad and the straps are coming out. Those were expensive mistakes, right? So like, don't make those expensive mistakes. Like you can go on Facebook Marketplace. You can get fabric for like $1 to $5 a yard. I picked up bolts of sailcloth, like proper sailcloth that some lady had in like a storage unit. I think I probably got 50 plus yards for $50. You know, that's not great for a hammock, but that's great for making little bags here and there to practice. So I'd recommend that. Start cheap, and just have fun with the experience of learning before you spend hundreds. You know, it's not worth it right away.
So, sewing machine, what would you recommend starting out?
You know, the one that you have access to is always the right machine to start on, right? Like your grandma has a sewing machine she hasn't touched in 15 years. Well, you might want to try to pick that up because it's free and, you know, polish the dust off. Now, if you had to buy one, you can buy a bunch of great, like all metal home machines that are vintage for $20 to $100. That's a great choice. I have not personally done that because I got a home machine, promptly destroyed it, making a backpack like within the first week, because that was my true project 1, and I broke it on project 1. So I went straight to industrial machines after that. If you had to get a home machine, Don't expect it to be super heavy duty as the name would imply. It's kind of a lie, but the Singer Heavy Duty is a great machine for lighter fabrics, hammocks, quilts, apparel. I've done it all in that machine, and I've had it for probably 8 years. I think back in the day, pre-COVID, pre-inflation, it was like $140 maybe. Might be $200 now, maybe a little more. I've oiled the machine once. I replaced one $6 part. It's like an old Tacoma, man. Like, it just keeps going, and I keep beating that machine up, and it doesn't matter, and I use it basically every day. So people like to, on my forums, people like to dog on that as a recommendation. Maybe they got bad ones, and I got the one good one. I don't know. But Singer Heavy Duty is really good if you want to buy a new machine that's a little cheaper to start with. That's my take. I think it works really well, and for hammocks, tarps, it will do it, no question.
Yeah. Mr. Mike said you could never have too many hammocks, by the way.
Well, that's fair. That's actually a fair statement. This might be a funny thing. I'll tell you some of the hammocks that I have, right? So my buddy owns a company called Mr. Mox. I have 1 or 2 hammocks from him. He was at HangCon. I have the Grand Trunk Skeeter Beater. I might have sold that one, but that was like my first hammock with a real net. The Grand Trunk Ultralight, which is like that short one that packs down to like the size of an orange. I've got one from Dutch, like a Hexon 1.0 hammock. And like a couple generic ones that I had like in college to hang out on campus between class, that kind of thing. It was like, I've got more hammocks and I have one body to lay in it. Like, what am I doing? And then, after school, I went to Boulder, Colorado, and I lived there for about 3 years. It's tough to find a hammock spot out there if you want to camp. And it's not impossible, but a lot of the stuff I liked doing out there was the big mountains above the tree line, and you need to be ready to sleep on the ground. so that kind of kicked me out of hammock camping, at least while I was there,
Yeah, I've been that's my next venture is going to be out west, and I know I'm going to have to get a tent. I'm dreading it because I'm a hammock camper through and through, and it's going to be hard to get back into a tent and sleep on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, it's less comfortable. But like, I'm the ultralight weenie. Like, I'm weighing everything, I'm one of those guys, right? So it is lighter by a little bit. Not by much, but by a little bit. And I will say it's a lot less fiddly. Like, if you want to take, like, if I want to take a buddy out camping who's never been before, which I love doing that, by the way, I think that's a great experience. Like, if you're the guy who has all the stuff and you know what's going on and you can guide somebody on a trip for the first time, 10 out of 10, I love doing that. I always put those people into a tent. It's like, it's easy. I can set it up in a minute and they're good. They're not going to, drink a little too much whiskey at the fire and sit down in their hammock and fall backwards. Speaking for a friend, I don't know who would have ever done that. It's a simple way to be when you're camping. Hammock wins by comfort. I will admit that hammock always wins by comfort.
Yeah, hands down. I mean, I've never slept so good. Like, if I could have it in the house, I would definitely probably have it in the house. The wife will not allow me to have it in the house, but I guess I could just set it up in the garage whenever I get kind of tired of sleeping in the bed, which is, I sleep better in the hammock anyways.
That better than your bed at home?
Oh, yeah. Better than my bed at home. Yep,
really?
Better than my bed. I'm not lying, man.
Wow.
Like, I'll fall asleep and I just wake up and it's morning time. I don't want to get out of the hammock. That's the thing. Like, sometimes I just want to lay there just like, yeah, especially if it's myself. Like, usually if I'm with people, I don't know what it is. I'm always the first one up. And when I'm the first one up, I'm always the fire starter. I'm usually the cook too, because I bring food and I'll cook and stuff like that. But oh crap, my mom. ADHD.
You're the guy that people want to go camping with, is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
I like to have a good time. I do my trips. My solo trips is what I want to do when I want to get out, get the hike in, do stuff. Like, I have several goals this year. I want to do the Knobstone Trail, which is about 50. I did half of it last year, and we had to stop because it was just 100. It was like 100 degrees. We just couldn't keep water in us. and there was no water on trail, so we had to stash. And like we had two or 3 gallons at each place, and we were just sweating it all. Like I had no water for like a half a mile. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah, so, that's my problem out here too, right? Like I grew up camping out here in Florida. I'm in Tarpon Springs now, so I'm like right on the west coast, like northwest of Tampa. The problem now is, except for right now we have very good weather, but most of the year it is so bloody hot and the mosquitoes are so ravenous. It is really hard to convince yourself to get out on a trip and like do that overnight. So like these days, most of my camping is literally at trade shows, like HangCon, Appalachian Trail Days. Sometimes I camp, sometimes I sleep in the car, sometimes I'm in a hotel, whatever. And then Danish Outdoor Festival. That's like my 10 days of camping a year, like right there. The problem is the access is so tough here. Like you have to drive really far, and then you drive really far. And sure, Florida is gorgeous. Like there's a lot of pretty places to go, but you've got to be there at the right season where it's December through February. Yep. Otherwise, you're cooking. You're literally just turning medium rare.
That's when you have to do kayaking, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know are you into kayaking?
I love it, but I don't have one. When there's a chance to do it, I will, but I don't own one yet. I don't have the place to put it. So
funny thing is, I have 2, and they're at my buddy Jeremiah. They're at his house, and he lives right by the lake. So it's like they'll definitely be starting here before 2. I'll be like, it'll be the weekday. I'll be like, yeah, I think I'm gonna pull over to his house and go fishing for the afternoon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no,
it's crazy, man. Like moving to Florida, that's got me like still outside, maybe outside more often than not, but I've like transitioned to other stuff. And the funny thing is, like, I play pickleball now, like 3 or 4 nights a week. And like, that's been my new hobby to keep me active because I can do it at night. I can go out for dinner and beers with my buddies after, and I still get to test my gear, which is funny. So like every time like I go, like it seems like every month I'm trying a new bag to hold all my stuff. I get to wear all my homemade clothes. So I'm still testing. It's just in a different environment now, if that makes sense.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I spend about at least 100 nights a year in my hammock. So
good for you, man. That's awesome.
I get out there. I mean, I love it. I like making the content for people. I like to show people, like, yeah, there's these great areas out there. You just get out there and enjoy it. I mean, that's what being outdoors is for me. It's definitely therapy. It's something that I enjoy. That's why I don't think I could get into. If I got into make your own gear, my wife would probably kill me because that's another hobby that I would just put a lot of money into.
Yep. There's ways to do it cheap, but end result is it's never actually cheaper, if that makes sense.
Because you're eventually going to want to. Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it never ends. And I think that's the other part of like why I'm also not getting out as much as I would like is like, something about running a business that keeps you inside all the time and also up till 3 a.m. checking your email and stuff like that is like, it's not conducive to getting out for a full weekend and being able to unplug very often. It's just not. And that's kind of a tragic bit. So go to Florida where it's too hot and then also like start a business. It's like, man, your backpacking nights to like just deplete like instantly.
Well, to get you out, man. I'll have to meet up somewhere halfway, so that way you can actually enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I have to just drive north. That's the only way. You just drive north. That said, I'm getting out soon. So I'm going to Denmark this year, and most of those guys that are going to that. So
yep.
Denmark for 4 days approximately. Go to the show, stay a night in Copenhagen, and then 10 nights. I'm going to stay in a camper van and tour the Golden Circle in Iceland. So cool. That's a big trip. That's going to be, we're camping in a van. So like, that's a different experience for me, but outside time for 10 full days, essentially. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be a nice way to unplug and a good excuse not to look at my email every night, you know?
That's when you just turn it off. Turn it off,
Yep.
and you know what? Put on the auto reply. We are out on vacation. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep. That said, the phone's got to be out because you got to make some content. You know, you only go to Iceland like once, right? So, so there's got to be photo video.
Yeah, that's it. All I gotta say is I'll be waiting to see some of that.
Yeah, you know what? And tell me if you ever do this, if this is relatable. Like, you'll like look up a trip you want to go on, just enough to see if it's worth it, right? That's the stage I'm at. Like, I know this trip is worth it. And now I don't want to look at anything else because I don't want to spoil it. Like, I don't want to see that crazy geothermal spring I'm planning to go to. I don't want any more pictures because I know I'm going. I don't want to wreck it before I go, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of similar. When I plan trips, I'll pick an area and then I'll go into all trails and I'll go and make my own route, and then I'll find a few videos on the area. And I was like, yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that. Just like a few stops that I want to see, and then I'm like, okay. Then I'm like, the rest of it, I'm like, whatever I see is what I see.
Yep.
And a lot of that comes off trail. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of stuff that you find, you just go off trail, then find your way back, which is sometimes not the best way to do it. But I mean, I've been doing this a while. I didn't start off that way, but it gets kind of, especially if you've been in the area, you already know, Red River Gorge. So that's an area I've been a million times now. And I mean, there's one way you got to go, and it's the gorge. You're going to go down to the river. So just go down. If you start walking off trail, just walk down the hill. It's that easy.
Yep. Yeah, there's places where it's really awesome to do off-trail travel. And the high mountains in Colorado was one of those places. Like, you know, of course, like, you don't want to tramp the landscape. You don't want to ruin the precious vegetation. A lot of the time you get up super high, 12,000 feet plus, it's all sand and boulders, man. And you can just have a really fun time walking off trail and looking for stuff. Navigation is also easy because there's nothing covering your line of sight, right? So that helped me kind of get into that while I was out there, was because I know I can get back to where I started just based on sight alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I mean, it's not very hard to, sorry. Heads went a little awry there. So try to get back on topic here. The name, where did you get the name Red Paw?
Okay, so my first trips, barring the first one with the guided, you know, student-led trips at FSU, I did that once, and I was like, okay, I'm good. I can do this now. And I had just brought my dog Lucy with me, and our first trip after that was to Providence Canyon, Georgia. Have you been there before?
I have not.
Okay, that's a good trip. It's not like the hardest hiking or anything like that. But to my understanding, it is like the little Grand Canyon of the Southeast, and farming practices led to this erosion of the clay. And you are like in like a canyon looking around, and there's like, you know, those like geological slices of like where the clay and the dirt, and there's all these layers. It's a stunning little trip. It's only like 8 miles, 10 miles round trip. So it's an overnight, short overnight. But Lucy went with me, and she's a golden retriever, and she was stained red and orange from that clay for so long. I mean, 2 to 3 weeks. And it was on the way home, because of course she's swimming in the creeks, and it's like, there's no avoiding it, right? So we're on the way home, and she has this nice shade of red and orange all over her entire body, including her face. And my buddies now were talking like, you know, nobody really has trail names. So then we gave Lucy Red Paw as her trail name. And she's been on basically every trip since then. So she got a trail name like right away. And I said, that's a cute name. People like dogs. I like dogs. Let's make that the business name. Why not? I didn't have anything else. And I'd eventually wanted to make dog gear too, right? And I just thought that was a perfect fit. And there's still not many people that make dog gear. So as I've
There's not.
transitioned the business to do more and more of that over the years, it seems to fit a little better each time. Even though I did not start with just dog gear.
Yeah, the dog gear is really interesting, man. The quilt. I think you put a video out. Was it today or yesterday?
Yep.
As you and Lucy, you showed how to put the quilt on and everything else, and she wanted the snack before she could bottle it.
Yeah. The only way I can get her to sit for something like that is I have to bribe her, and I put a treat on the tripod under my phone to record it. So she's like very patiently looking at the camera and just licking her chops the entire time. That's why. It's like sitting in her direct eye line, and she's just looking at that treat like, okay, I'll do what he says. Just one more minute, and then I'm going to get the treat. So she actually put on a good performance for that, and I was really stoked. There's more bloopers in that, right? But that was my one usable take.
It's awesome. Yeah, the dog quilt, man. Explain it to us here. I know what it is, but explain how you come up with the idea, the thought into it. It's a pretty awesome piece of gear.
It's a really basic design. Like this is kind of a look into how I design products in general too. But like, I had a problem. I have a dog that likes to swim and get wet every time I take her on a trip with me. Every single time. I can't stop her. There's no stopping her. You can't. She's a 90-pound dog. She's going to take you. She's going to swim. So I just let her, and I would bring a towel and, whatever. That's a good thing to do, but it didn't really solve the problem of like, I need to cover this wet dog from making me wet, getting my down sleeping bag wet, and keep her warm all at the same time. So I made the first dog quilt probably 6 years ago. And it didn't dawn on me to make that a product until maybe 2 years ago. I had been using it and loved it. And it was just simple. It's a rectangle of sleeping bag shell fabric. Now I use the membrane 15D Eco from Ripsaw by the Roll. That's like 0.9 ounces a square yard. So super light quilt fabric. It's just soft to the touch and great. And then the inside, the insulation is Climate Shield Apex, 2.5 ounce square yard. Super duper simple. Just a shell and a sheet of insulation. But it just works, man. Like, it just works, and it doesn't, compress like down does when it gets wet. I mean, you just stick that in your sink and rinse it out and let it hang dry, and like, you're done. Like, it doesn't smell like wet dog anymore. I think that the quilt shell part actually helps a lot with that too. But like, you're not going to wash a down sleeping bag for your dog every trip you go on. Why would you? And also, like, if they're swimming in wet, like, it's not going to work that well. It also, like, Lucy has a really thick coat because she's a golden. So she's got that long fur. So she doesn't need the insulation till it's like, I don't know, 40 degrees, 45 degrees. But I'll tell you, she appreciates when I put one on her. Like, she actually gets it now, and she lets me put it on her, and she's happy to keep it on. You know how dogs will put on those little booties to walk around in and just kick them off right away? Well,
Yep.
Lucy does the same thing for that. But the quilt, she understands, is like doing a job for her. So, simple problem, even simpler solution. So, I've been actually making and selling quite a few of those. I think it takes a minute for people to understand, like, what's going on and, like, how do I put this on my dog, and are they going to let me do it? But I think once you see how easy that is, I mean, if you watch that video, it takes 15 seconds to put it on your dog, clip it in, adjust it.
Yeah.
Even if they're goofing around and trying to run away, like, it's properly simple, and they can still go to the bathroom, so you don't even have to take it off. So, like, I put that on Lucy when we get to camp and take it off in the morning and pack it with my quilt, and then I'm done. Weighs 4 ounces. Like, hard to beat that, right?
Yeah. Are you doing different sizes of it, or is it just one size? How you doing that?
For right now, it's just one size. It's kind of like a larger size. It's basically like 4 by, I think, 2.5 feet approximately. And the idea with that is it already packs down so small. Even if you had a tiny dog and you just wanted to wrap them in it, You could still do that even though it's the larger size. I do plan to have smaller sizes though. Like if you have a Chihuahua, you're not putting that on your Chihuahua. It's not gonna like they're gonna drown in that quilt. So I think there is a need for smaller, but I think most of the time those tiny dogs will just fit in your sleeping bag anyway, whereas Lucy will not fit. You know, and any dog that's like 50 to 120 pounds is not going to fit. So that's kind of who it's made for.
See, I don't let her in the hammock at all. It ain't happening.
Yeah,
But
that's a mess.
I bring a bed with her. I have a bed. I bring a little small bed. But the quilt is what very interesting. Like I said, I don't let her in there with me. She's about 20 pounds, maybe. She's a Cavapoo is what she is. Cavalier Poodle mix. And she, that's why I was asking about different sizes. I didn't know how well that would fit her because she's, only about that.
Yeah. Yeah, this size wouldn't. But I do custom work. So like I've had people reach out and I've done smaller quilts too. I don't necessarily post everything all the time. Like if somebody reaches out wants a custom quilt, I do it most of the time and just kind of say nothing because I'm not quite ready to do production for 2 sizes because I'm still doing all that myself. Most of the things I'm still doing myself. So it's like I have to really kind of judge what's worth it and what's not. I just kind of hoped that, more people with big dogs would be interested than smaller dogs. So I just went with the big size.
Yeah, I do have a bit. Well, not my dog. My daughter, she has a big dog, so it would definitely fit her dog. Cause she's eventually going to be wanting to bring her dog out with us too. I know she will. I told her if her dog comes, you get to pick her up on stuff. I'm not doing it.
Yep. Yeah. And look, as much as I love selling these quilts, because I think it is a good product that dogs like, you also don't necessarily need it. Like, and I will be the first person to like tell people, hey, I know I make good stuff. I spent a long time making this, but like you can do this free and cheap. Like before I had this quilt, I would just put my down jacket on my dog at night. That was it. Like there's cheap solutions that you don't have to. Look, I would love for people to support my business, but there's workarounds here if you just want to work on taking your dog out like on your trips without spending an arm and a leg on gear. You don't necessarily have to,
No. I feel
they don't need much. They're resilient, man. They don't need much.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I put her she just has one of the little vests I got her, one of the fleece line vests, and she seems fine with that. She seems content.
Yep.
I'm afraid if I ain't gonna lie, when I do put my have my quilt down there, when I'm putting it up, she tries to get in. I'm not gonna lie, but I have to keep her doing that.
Yeah. Now, what's your solution for hammock camping with your dog? So you give your dog a bed set up right underneath. Is that how it works for you?
Yes, she has a pad she sleeps on, and then usually I'm around a tree, so I got a root. So what I'll do is I'll take her leash and I'll tie it to the root, and then she'll sleep right there by me.
Okay. Yeah, see, mine's too. What's the right word? She's my shadow. Like she will be bugging me to get into the hammock, and it's like obviously we both are not fitting in this. So, I guess that's the only way to train them to sleep under, right?
Yeah. I mean, some people you could put use a gear hammock, and it'll hang below, and they'll put their dog in that.
Okay, that's a really cool solution. I like that if they'll do it.
And there's several dogs. I mean, I've seen it. People do with their dogs and stuff. Then they'll have have a little quilt there for them when they'll get in there. That's what they'll do. And then, but I mean, I just found it easier. I just got a little bed, a little small, dog roll up bed. Don't weigh nothing. Throw it down when I get to camp. Throw it down on my little mat. Then she'll sleep right there. And then she's pretty good about letting me know when stuff's around too. No matter what it is, she'll. I'm like, sometimes it's like, oh my Lord, just please stop.
But they keep the critters away. That's a nice part about bringing a dog. Like, good luck with like mice or something trying to get to your food. Nope. Mine will let me know right away.
Ursa, she said Dutch wear pup tent. That's something. If you ever see Dutch wear
Oh.
their pup tent, it basically is a tent that hangs from your tarp, and it hangs down. It's just mesh sides, and it got the bottom. Basically, a tiny tent for your dog that hangs from the tarp.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, it's just like a little pyramid tent.
Yep.
Oh, that's a great solution. Keep them covered.
Then
Keep
a lot
them
of
locked
people
in.
will get the there's several tarps out there that has the bug screen go all the way down. It has a bottom in it as well. A lot of people will do that. That's not really conducive for backpacking.
Right.
But I just found, she'll sleep right there beside me. She'll sleep right there on the ground. I mean, I'm slow enough to the ground. I can usually look over and I can still reach over and pet her usually.
Yeah.
So she's right there. And then as soon as I get up in the morning, I just let her off. She's pretty good about staying right with me. So she'll might run down to the water and get something to drink or something like that. But I can say her name and she's right back there. But I know there's not going to be a lot of people on trail. I don't even put a leash on her. She just walks right, like you said, she's my shadow. She walks right at my heel, and she's good about it.
Yep. No, mine does the same thing. And, I will say this, like, you hear a lot of stories of people with their bad dogs off the leash. I would say for any time I've experienced a bad off-leash dog, which actually was only a couple, there were probably 20-to-1 ratio of off-leash dogs that were, like, properly smart, followed recall immediately, and didn't run up to you and harass your dog too. And I will say Boulder, for all of its flaws, has one thing right, is they do let you have your dog off the leash in a lot of the parks. Now, I have seen a dog run up to like a mule deer, for example, and scare the mule deer away. And it's like, well, that's obviously a really bad thing to do. But
it's like going up to a horse just about.
Yeah. I mean, they're about the same size, man. They're huge. So like, that's a bad thing to do. But there's also like those dogs that literally stay right by your side or don't leave your eyesight ever. A couple bad dogs will make the reputation for all off leash dogs bad.
Yeah.
But man, it's so nice when you can take them off and they don't pull your shoulder out of its socket with every step. My gosh, that is a huge improvement. Quality of life, Yep.
I know exactly what you mean by that right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Ursula was saying here too. She said it keeps the bugs off of them too.
Oh, yep.
So that'd be good for summer, especially with a lot of ticks, especially around. I mean, you all probably have ticks year round down there.
Yeah, you do. I mean, dude, the bugs here are just so crazy, and like I'm not immune to it, but man, like I have experienced some crazy bug pressure. That said, the worst bug pressure I have ever had was June in the Wind River Range in Wyoming. It was a cloud of mosquitoes that would legitimately carry you away if they could. It was the worst. I've never seen that anywhere else. And Florida is a very close runner-up.
Yeah, it could get pretty bad here. I go live. I backpacked in July, and it probably wasn't the best idea because that trip I go. I sit down in the middle of the trail and kind of cried. It was one of those trips. Then get back up and keep going. But got to camp and I was like, man, I'm itching. I just looked down at my ankles and my entire around my sock is just covered in little sea ticks.
Oh,
so
use permethrin. I mean, that's like all you can do, right?
Yeah, that's what I do now. I spray everything, and like I mean, I haven't got into really any ticks since then, but I don't know what it is about it. But I would have thought this winter up here would have killed them off, but apparently there are. I had a teacher. I work at a school. He got bit by a tick over the weekend, and I'm pretty sure they got. He had to get He don't know if he got really sick, and he don't know if he got the. I think it's called alpha gal or whatever it is.
Oh, I was thinking limes, but maybe.
So you have lime, but alpha gal is whenever you you can't eat red meat anymore at all.
That would be a crime against humanity.
Oh yeah, I could go without steak. I'm sorry.
That's rough, man. Yeah.
I just had to keep an EpiPen right by so I could have a steak. Sorry.
You got to do what you got to do. I'm right there with you, man. I don't know if I could give that up. That's one of my few things I really do think I couldn't live without.
Yeah, red meat. Then the other red meat, you got pork. I call it, actually, I mean, you could probably say that's the other white meat. Doctor will tell you different, but when I cook it, it's pretty white.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I couldn't. There's no way I could get. Couldn't even imagine.
Now, should we do these would you rather's?
Yes, sir. That's what I was about ready to get to here.
Okay, good. We're on the same page. All right.
I've got them written down here. So let's go with got number one. Would you rather wake up with a squirrel in your tent or a snake in your hiking shoe?
I pick squirrel all day. All day. Now,
even Florida. I mean, you ought to, that's because you don't have squirrels. You have snakes.
No, we got both. We got plenty of both.
Oh, no, you got down there. The snakes don't fit. They're bigger than your shoe.
Yeah, that's
sometimes they're bigger than your tent.
That's the problem. What snake are we talking about, right? If I have a black racer in my trail runner, okay, like I'm gonna be just fine. If I have a water moccasin, a copperhead, a rattlesnake, a anything else, no thanks.
Nope, I'm good.
I'm good, sir. No way.
I'm not gonna lie here. Any snake, yeah, no. I'm not gonna. I just don't like them.
We've got bad ones here. I guess that's what's shaded my perspective here. We've got the real bad ones, and you see them.
Yeah, we got definitely copperheads here. Rattlesnakes. Yep. Western Kentucky, we have a little bit of the water moccasins. They're not as prominent here as they are down there for you all, but then you got alligators too. I mean, down there when you're going camping, do you want to be right by the water?
If you camp enough by the water, you start to desensitize a little bit to those sounds and the proximity to the animals. And that's kind of a bad thing because they're no joke out here, man. Truly, there's no, like, you can make Florida man jokes all day, and I do that for sure. But like when you hear an alligator outside of your tent, like pretty close, because you hear the noise, like the grunting noises and stuff, you don't love that. You really don't love that. And the problem is, everywhere you camp here is pretty much around water. So you have to really get smart. Sometimes you don't pick the prettiest view because you know that you're going to be in close proximity to those animals,
Yeah, I think I'm good.
It's less scary than you think.
Like I said, I'm not a reptile type of person, so good.
Yeah.
Mammals all day. I'm definitely choosing the squirrel. The squirrel, at least I could, probably throw him out.
Yeah, he's gonna rip your tent and maybe your quilt, but you get him out and you're fine.
Yeah. I could go on with that. Okay, man. So we'll do this second one here. It's would you rather bring your best friend camping for 1 week or 4 friends for 1 night?
This one's easy for me. 4 friends, 1 night. And I'll tell you why. I like that those longer trips, you get the longer exposure to being outside. You get more of what you're looking out. Like, you're looking for that time outside to kind of reset, right? But there is something to be said about you with a big group of buddies that takes the energy of that trip from something that might be more about solitude and kind of challenge, but also relaxing, to like, now this is a trip I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And for me, those trips have always been, I've got 3 or 4 buddies with me, and I remember every second of it because of that, even if they were shorter. So that's my take.
I'm probably going to same choice. Like I said, I love my buddies. I have one guy that, like I said, Jeremiah, we live in the same town. We love the same stuff. So hang out with him a lot. But like you said, just something to say. Like you have those guys that you get to hang out with, and it just like you said makes that trip so much more memorable. I mean, I've had a lot of great solo trips. I'm not gonna lie. Like you said, that's the trips where that's a reset for me. It brings me back to reality. It lets me know that everything's okay. You know, if I can make it through this, you know, I can make it through anything. And
Yep.
and just being in nature in general. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's just something that's magnificent for me. I just love it. So, uh, third one, man. Would you rather day hike 5 miles with 4,000 feet of elevation or 15 miles with 1,500 foot of elevation?
I'm going to pick the shorter distance, more elevation. And to a lot of people, that sounds like talk of a madman. But to me, what that usually means is I'm seeing something really high up in the alpine with a really sick view. Like that first option is basically what doing a 14,000 foot mountain in Colorado is. It's usually longer than that, and sometimes it's more elevation than that. But that's my pick always is harder, steeper hike for the crazy long distance view. That's always been my preference. Like you're grinding either way, but when you do the big climbs, you usually get the big panorama view, and that's what I really love about hiking.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you right there. I totally agree. I want to take that every single time, just because I know what the reward's gonna be. I mean, it's totally worth it. I've done a bunch of hikes with people, and I've done a bunch with myself, and I mean, I like the elevation. Everybody sees it. They're like, "Oh man!" I'm like, "Yeah," but you got the elevation. Elevation comes with its perks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Then they understand. But I mean, like you said, 5 miles, 4,000. I mean, I take that all day.
All day. All day. I think that my typical favorite hike when I was out west was like 10 miles total, probably, maybe 10 to 15, and like 3 to 6,000 feet elevation gain or change in general, I guess. That was always my favorite thing because it was grueling and they were usually just day hikes. And you have to get their alpine start. So we're talking 3 a.m. or whatever, right? And then you're back to your car by like noon, 2 o'clock, go out for a burger and beers after. That's like my perfect day. And that was usually doing those crazy alpine hikes that were like long, grueling day, but only kinda. Like it was shorter, but it was really tough while you were there.
I dig it, man. I like it. Well, man, I want to thank you for getting on here tonight. It's been great talking with you. Just getting to know you a little bit more. It's been a treat. We talked. I think last year when I went to HangCon, we talked a little bit, but this year, like I sit there, I think it was at least an hour. We just sit there and talked and I think half of it was just about the backpack.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, that's the best part of those events, man. Is just like getting to chat with people. Because there's people of all walks of life. Everybody has a different story, a different hike they're thinking about or have done. They use different stuff. They use different gear. That's the best part, man.
Oh, I love it, man. I want to thank everybody out there for keeping the chat going. And if you got in here a little bit late, go back and watch. Like I said, we have a Make Your Own Gear Guru here. If you haven't, go back and watch. And then I'm gonna let him tell us one more time here what we already said Make Your Own Gear, where you can find him. He is in the YouTube world, and I'm gonna let him tell you here what he does, what he wants to show you all, and then we'll get out of here.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. My business is Red Paw Packs. You can find me at Red Paw Packs on all the social medias, save maybe X, Twitter. I don't really use that. So, but anywhere, I'm there at Red Paw Packs. What I'd like you guys to do, if you could, go to the YouTube channel, support the YouTube channel. I've been grinding hard to try to get more videos, to teach people how to make their own gear and do DIY at home. It's something I've always been really passionate about, but have recently put a lot of time and effort into. So if you could check that out, I would really appreciate it.
Oh man, that's awesome. I've got your channel actually pulled up here, and I've seen some stuff on here. I'm like, man, yeah, that's something I think I would be interested in doing. So you've got a lot of good tutorials on there, and guys, like you said, get out there, support his channel, go look at it. He's got some really awesome stuff out there for make your own gear, and just not backpacking gear. I mean, there's stuff on there like stuff for like looks like sports bags, I think. That you have on there. You had, like you said, you have your that new backpack, that everyday carry. I'm not gonna lie, probably may pick one up because that's great for. I want it for work. I'm not gonna lie. I went to a conference last week and I didn't have a backpack, and I was like, then when I see that, I was like, yeah, that would have been nice to have.
That's what it's for, man. It's for the regular people doing regular stuff, but want a cool bag for it.
Yep,
that's the idea.
That's what I like, the one-offs, the something that you're not going to find in a big box store. It's you know where it was made, you know who made it, and the care, the love and care that went into it. Like, because all of you DIYers, you MYOG gurus, or you cottage gear branders out there, all of you all are something special. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all are special. You're definitely what makes this community just so much better. And that's what I love about it. And I'm just glad that I could get you on here this week, man. It's been awesome. I love talking with you. I loved every bit of it. I'm gonna get back with you offline here because you've got a lot of knowledge that I like to pick the brain with. So
please do. No, I'm happy to, and that goes for anybody, man. Like, I've done a couple podcasts with the Rips Up by the Roll crew, and I will tell everybody here as well, like, feel free to message me on Instagram if you have questions about making your own gear or DIY or stuff I did or whatever. I answer a lot of messages. I really try my best to answer everything I can and try to help people along, because I wish somebody was there to do that for me. So now I'm trying to do that for everybody else too,
Thank you, man. Guys, adventurers, I want to thank you all for another lovely episode this week of Adventure Closet Talk. It's been awesome. Gets better each week. We have an awesome guest each week. It's just something I'm really enjoying doing. It's becoming something I love. I want to thank you all for supporting the channel. You can support the channel, of course. You can buy me a coffee. You don't have to. But supporting the channel, like Matt said, helps us get stuff out to you. I love doing this. I love bringing these guys in here. I want them to get to know the community that I have. So that way it just gets the word out. It's what this community's for. It's what it's for. Like I said, cottage gear makers they're the heart. They're the heart and blood. They're the soul behind everything. Like, they're the innovators. So get out there, support your cottage vendors, guys. And I want to tell you, I'm going to leave it on that. Y'all have a nice night, and I'll see y'all out on trail. Y'all adventurers, take it easy.